Hi everyone, welcome to today's live. If you're watching this on replay, be sure to hit pound replay in the comments so I can come back and connect with you. I'm Karen McGee, your hypnotherapist, and today I want to talk about something so many people with ADHD struggle with. The exhausting cycle of lack of focus, sleep, and constant stress. If this sounds like you, you're not alone. I've had clients tell me they feel stuck in this never-ending loop of being exhausted all day, unable to focus, and then hyper-focusing at night, only to repeat the same cycle the next day. If this resonates with you, stick around because I have a story to share that just might change the way you see your own ADHD journey. Let me introduce a person by the name of Jane Doe, not a real person, of course, but her struggle is real. She represents a client that I had. Jane came to me feeling completely drained, frustrated, and at her breaking point. She told me, I don't work during the day because I just can't focus. So I stay up all night trying to make up for lost time. But then I don't sleep at night. And so I start my day exhausted, dragging myself around in this endless cycle. You see, Jane Doe would have these, let me say it like this. Let me give an example of, first of all, the main issue Jane Doe had was that she had this lack of sleep. She couldn't focus on things. And this was just like a constant cycle for her. And so what I want to do is explain what an example of a day in the life for her looked like. So she would start her day extremely tired because, of course, she had stayed up all night before. She was irritable, tired, and felt like she was dragging herself around throughout the day. She would go to class only to have her thoughts just wander off during most of her class time while she was trying to give the illusion of paying attention. And then after barely making it through class, and we're talking about, let's say her class starts at 8, she's not getting done until 1 or 2. But after barely making it through a class, she would find that by the time she reached the early afternoons, especially no later than the mid-afternoon, she would just crash. She would just have to have a nap, and she would sleep for a few hours at minimum. And she would often wake up in the early evenings in just a pure panic, just thinking of all the things she needed to do. But
I'm a girl. I don't know what to tell you. I know. I don't understand. Okay. It's genuinely, being miserable. Or say something. I don't understand. Who's talking to you? Mind your business, bitch. Or something. They should be like, oh, you're fucking ugly. And you're like, oh, guess I am. No. You need to be like, oh, what are you talking to? You should be like, guess I am. No, it's not.
because of all of that, on top of that, she would feel just a sense of shame for being in this situation, for putting herself in this cycle, so to speak. And this would go on in her head for another hour until something would click. As she would say, something would just click in her. And then she would just say, you know what? All right, I'm just going to focus. And I'm just going to focus on trying to work through, let's say, for example, completing my homework assignment that I missed during the day. And she would literally just lock in, lock in and become completely hyper-focused on completing all of her assignments or whatever task she had to do during the day. And she would just stay up all night hammering through. And so if she had to write papers or she had to research or she had to do math, whatever, she would be locked in, super hyper focused. And she would literally do this. Let's say she started this, I don't know, around 7, 8, maybe 9. And she would go until 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 in the morning. All night. She would literally do this all night, every single day. And then once she would finish all of the activities that she had to do from the day in the wee hours in the morning, she would be up because now she's just, she's up and she can't like calm down just yet. So she would just stay up and just continue until it got time to go to school and just go to school. Just lock in, get a bunch of coffee and keep it going, or take some Red Bull, just whatever it took to keep stimulated to push through the day. And this would be her cycle over and over and over again, dragging herself around the day, feeling exhausted, feeling irritable, feeling unfocused, and then crashing in the afternoon, and then staying up late in the evening, in the wee hours to get things done. And this cycle would occur. She would do this. She had been doing this for years, many, many, many years. And literally by the time she came to me, she literally came to the point where she was like, I'm so exhausted. I simply can't go on in life like this anymore. I just can't. And to give you some background, my client was diagnosed with ADHD when she was around 14. So she had a therapist, she'd had executive coaching, she was currently taking medication, but she was still experiencing a lot of the emotional pain and the pain points from how she was managing the ADHD symptoms. So by the time she came to me, she was like, I just had enough. There's gotta be a better way. And she told me, I have tried everything and nothing has helped. And literally her words were to me, I have nothing to lose with working with you and hopefully everything to gain. So she was very skeptical about hypnotherapy and starting a session, but was willing to give it a try. And to give you a little bit of background, before our session, I'd asked her what was her main symptoms, what did she really want to work through, and to get an idea of what we want to focus on in the session. And she mentioned she wanted to focus on this inability to focus during the day. She wanted to have a life where she could focus during the day and be normal and do the things she needed to do during the day and sleep during the night and, like normal people. So during the session, I helped her relax, put her in a relaxed state, and we just began by having conversations, by asking her some questions related around her inability to focus. And we got and those questions led us to a point where we could discover the root issue of why she wasn't focusing during the day. And I won't go into all the details, but at the core of it, she had a fear of the dark. And she had this fear since she was a kid. And at some point, her mind said, in order to help you get over this fear, I'm gonna find a way for you to not have to worry about being fearful of the dark. How about if you just don't sleep during the nighttime? That'll solve it. So hence, this is why she would be so hyper-focused during the night and only sleep during the day. If you can call what those hours of sleeping which she did sleep. I guess it is sleep, but it just wasn't quality sleep. But that was the only time she would sleep. And once we addressed that root issue, we were able to work through the beliefs around, that fear, and work on providing with her a new perspective, a new set of positive beliefs. And literally, after that session, she was able to sleep through the night. That one session, at the end of that session, she went to sleep she went to sleep with no problem at night. And she's been doing it for months. And she told me the only time she stays up is when she's making an active choice or a decision. But she's no longer being compelled or ruled by that cycle she was once in. She was so incredibly grateful and thankful for the session. She was like, it was a game changer for her because she really was out of control with managing those symptoms. And now she's able to focus during the day. She's able to sleep during the night. And she has achieved what she wanted, which was to be a normal person. So by addressing that one issue, that issue of lack of focus, we solved her sleep issues. We solved her tiredness, her exhaustion, her emotional irritability. We solved her inability of losing time. And we solved that stress that she was constantly in due to this cycle. So what's the moral of this story, or what am I trying to say here through this client's perspective? You don't have to suffer with symptoms of ADHD. You can get help to overcome it. There are things, there are tools, there are ways to help you. Hypnotherapy can be an avenue for some people. And it doesn't mean that you have to go off your meds or do anything else, but it can address some of the ways in which you're managing ADHD symptoms and how to reduce it significantly, if not eliminate them. What do you have to lose? Try it. Thank you, my Facebook family, my YouTube family, everybody out here, my friends and family, for listening to me. And if this message resonated with you all in any shape, form, or fashion, please share it with your friends. Please like it. Please pass it on. And I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video. Thanks. Bye.